Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hey Motorheads, welcome to Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com. If you've got a performance car like this Shelby GT350 making 500 horsepower, you know when you take it to the track, the enemies are heat, vibration, and pressure. And a lot of times the hoses and the fittings can be the weak link in that. Ken, why do people seem to ignore hoses and fittings?
Well, a lot of people, they go after the more performance parts thinking that their money investment is best in the performance parts. But they got to remember, this is what's feeding the performance parts, whether it's your brakes, whether it's your turbos, whether it's your superchargers. This is still the heart of it. This is your vein.
So Roadrunner Performance, how do you improve on the standard hoses and fittings you might find out there?
A lot of things that we try to do is, one, we try to pressure test everything. We make sure that everything is still up to par for people. You know, we won't ever take it to burst in a normal application, but I want to make sure that if something sticks, something goes bad, that our parts will hang out for the longest.
I don't want to bury the lead here. Let's talk about how much pressure your hoses can take in the fittings as well.
Well, this is a simple PTFE hose, which we ran up to 9,700 PSI before it burst at the fitting, which is unheard of. Yeah. This is a put-together fitting.
That's insane.
And then we tried to crimp one. We came out with some new crimp, but you know the hose wouldn't last what our fittings would, so it burst at 10,000.
Is that all?
That's all, yeah.
What's the standard pressure that a hose is really going to need to?
Standard pressure, you're going to run working pressure somewhere around 600 to 1,000 max. If you're dealing with a power steering unit, it could be a couple thousand, but we're still well within range of that.
But if you settle for less than Roadrunner Performance, you can have a really bad day if something like this goes bad.
Oh yeah, you could lose thousands of dollars on a Pro Charger or anything of that nature. You know, that is the heart.
Roadrunner Performance, everything you have here looks better than any hoses and fittings I've ever seen as well.
Well, we go out and we do different things. We have a cutting edge fitting that's really cool. Take a little more time. We cut it one more time after the anodizing process, so it just gives somebody a different option. You know, when you're laying it out with a black hose, it's pretty cool.
So it's something like this with the black and the silver as well, which looks different.
Correct, Dave.
Very cool. And so let's kind of walk through what you have here. I know your fittings are one of the things that really make you famous here, and you've got a new one here.
It's considered a dry brake, but what we did, because the original dry brakes didn't have a way to mount them, we did a bulkhead style. This bulkhead style gives you the ability to mount this anywhere. Even though that we're coming in with a number 6, our bodies are bigger, so we're going to flow an 8. So we always try to give you the best flow, best product availability.
And it's a quick disconnect, also a dry brake as you said, and this is great because once you disconnect it, you're not going to be leaking fluid. If you've got a Mustang like this and you're out in the track, maybe you catch a front wheel, you need to change the brake, this comes in handy.
We came out with this, Dave, because you can just disconnect it. If you're a drifter or a racer, you have a different assembly ready to go, there it is. You're not going to have any air in the system when you plug this back in, so you plug your new piece on, hook it up, and you're gone.
Back on the racetrack. And what other, so the lines here that you have too, a lot of different varieties, a lot of different finishes.
Well, we keep a lot of different finishes because some people have a preference. Black obviously is always good. You know, this is a titanium fitting. It gives you a nice offset from the black hose and brings you right in if you're going to use a stainless hose. We carry PTFE. PTFE is for your high pressure. You know, anytime that you're hooking up a power steering or something that needs high pressure, we got it. We also have it with the black coating, which just gives it a little bit more protection around it instead of rubbing against the stainless steel. We carry the traditional push lock. We try to keep it in 2 different colors only. We don't want to get too fancy with that. We also have fuel systems. Here's part of our fuel system that we actually put a nut on instead of having the old style plastic ones that this car would probably have before it was built for a racing. It gives you a nice solid fit. You got 2 O-rings inside. So when you put this baby together, it's not going anywhere. It's locked down solid. The nut does it.
And Ken, tell me about the lightweight hose down here at the end.
Well, a lot of hot rodders and car restorations are using them. It has great looks and it really offsets our fittings well. We have it in black and black with a blue braid.
All right, Ken, thank you. We're going to bring in your better half here. Paula, come on in here. It's not just the hoses and the fittings for Roadrunner Performance, it's the accessories. You guys thought of everything, right down to the vice jaws you have there.
Right, we have 2 kinds of vice jaws. We have the aluminum and the plastic composite. These go in your vice and they protect the fittings because they're made out of aluminum. That way you're not going to scratch them. And they're also
Magnetic, they stick right to your vise there. And this is a great piece. I know this is very popular at all the shows you go to.
It
It's
is.
a simple crescent wrench, but it's not a simple crescent wrench. What makes it different?
Well, my husband, Ken, as you just met, he designed this wrench. It has 4 points of contact. It fits your hand really well. It's lightweight, and it goes out to a 16, so it's very handy to have. And the most important thing is, it does not scratch the aluminum fittings. And it's got a quarter turn, drops the fitting. So this is really, really popular with all of our racers, and they have it with them at all of the races.
All right, there you have it. If you are a builder, if you're into high performance, if you're a racer, you're going to have to run. Do not walk to the internet. Find a dealer near you. Roadrunnerperformance.com. We're going to return with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com right after this, so stay tuned.